and welcome to another episode of Wrestling with Bros. I'm Big Baby Ben.
This is Billy the Kid Rogers. Tonight we have a very, very special guest, Danny from HAW. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. It's a nice weather today.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
We're glad
So,
to have you on here, man. We've been hyped about it all week.
Yes.
very hyped.
I have no idea.
It's a fact.
All right.
So, our guest this evening is Danny, the owner of HAW, a local Quad Cities wrestling, and they are very good, very hard hitting, very entertaining, and the ring announcer is just amazing. All around great show. Enjoy watching. Billy the Kid, Troy Black.
I mean, where do I really start? I've never really been to a live wrestling event. It was my first one. And I was just I was stunned. Like, I've been in my own wrestling events, but I've never attended. I've never been like, there in the audience. And for me to be an audience member of a show that I'm not in, it was I, I could barely keep my ass in the seat. There was just so much action going on, so many different types of characters, so many, I got so mixed up and in the heat of it, I found myself clapping for even the heels. Like, I couldn't clap. I could not clap for anybody. Like, I clapped for everybody. It was an amazing show. I you had to be there for you to understand and grasp of how amazing it was. Like, it was just everything that you wanted, it happened. Everything you wanted, it happened. It had everything. How did you feel?
I feel absolutely amazing. I feel that with HAW Wrestling, they've really involved the fans, get everybody involved. They talk that trash, the heels do. The faces, they walk around, high five everybody, get everybody involved. Even during the matches, like, for example, Conan Lycan and Madman Fulton, like, they came clean into the chairs behind us. Like, Troy said that when they did a chop, he felt the sweat fly off one of them and land on him.
So intense, the sweat come off. You know what I'm saying? It was all over the place, man. I loved it.
Just an absolutely amazing company. They perform amazing, very well, and we will definitely be going back for Wicked and any future shows coming up as well.
So, first question for you, sir, if you don't mind, is what does it take to be an HAW wrestler?
Well, like every company out there, I mean, it's just professional training. Just go to the best school you can find, train yourself pretty well, and then just go out there. Usually, like when we get suggestions or somebody was trying to get in there, we always ask for like videos and all that stuff. But I mean, like any other company, you just have to be professional trained.
Okay. Makes sense.
Absolutely.
So, you got to be a special type of talent to be an HAW. With those hard hits, with those nasty hits on them. I mean, you guys really sell your bumps and your hits very well. I just wanted to let you know that that's some of the best work I've seen out of a local company ever.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hands down.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, like we try to do the best we can. I'm not trying to micromanage everybody in there. Just give them like the direction that I want them to go, but everything else is just them. Everything that you guys see is just them telling the story in the ring.
I loved it.
Wow, I love it.
The storytelling was great. The performances, like, that was the first time. I know I keep going back to this match, but it was my favorite match tonight personally. Conan Lycan and Madman Fulton. Like, that was the first time I've seen somebody step up to Conan Lycan since starting to watch HAW wrestling and make Conan actually look kind of small. Like, Conan, like, literally every time he tried to hit him with a hard move, Madman Fulton was right there to deliver an even harder move. So yeah, it was really exciting. So, and I guess, with talking about wrestlers, I guess that kind of leads us into the second question for you. What does it take behind the scenes as an owner? What does it take to run a wrestling company?
It takes a lot. because it's like it's not just in the backstage. You have to surround yourself with people that can support you what you're doing, like any other say like any business that you run. Like
Yeah.
it's just compared to wrestling. You have to have your ring crew, your announcers, you concessions, your ticket sales, and social media, all that kind of stuff. Like I can't do that all for myself. So that's why you like kind of prepare beforehand when you're building this. And then obviously before the show, we always have meetings leading to the show. Like make sure everything is covered. Well, because the moment that those door open, we just start working. People go to the concession. We set that up. We set up the back rooms, the sound, the microphones, everything. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot, but it takes a lot of good people to help out.
Well, and I guess you would say it probably takes a good podcast to sit there and
It
throw
takes
some
a
live
good
videos and
podcast to
record
set
some
up a
stuff
ring.
because that's how you get on social media, right?
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
And Billy, you had another question that you wanted to ask him personally. You can go ahead and ask that.
Yeah. So my other question was, an owner physically, when they go about choosing or picking their wrestlers for their company, like for the show, if they pick them singly for just one show, or if they pick them to permanently be a part of the company, how does an owner go about doing that?
It's mostly like the vision. You know what I'm saying? Like what is the need short term and what's the need long term when it comes to a character and the performance, like you see like somebody like Conan Lycan. That's a long term, that's a dude,
Yes.
But I always try to bring I wouldn't say like I like to use like one time thing, but I like to bring people from outside the Midwest. That'll be your short term, because I want people to see there's more people out there that you probably don't even know existed. There's good performers out there, and you don't get to see the same people facing each other for 100 times. So my goal is like if they face each other, they're in a story that makes sense and keeps you off your seat. But at the same time, I want to bring people that they're just facing each other, telling a story in the ring, but they're like new. It's new for the area, new for you, new stuff.
Well, and I kind of looked into Madman Fulton and found out he was originally Sawyer Fulton in NXT, part of a group known as Sanity. So that's just crazy in its own part that you're able to get such a big name for your company to come and wrestle for you guys.
Yeah, and he goes to Impact.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
And I seen that Heather Reckless. I guess she was at some point in TNA as well.
She went to TNA. She's been in Rear Honor. She's been in AEW. So she's a pretty big name, but it's not somebody you want to miss, because eventually she's just gonna sign with somebody.
Yep.
Like Conan Lycan, Maggie, all that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's when you catch them now. The same when we brought Saya Brookside. Former NXT UK Stardom, and then and she's willing to come back. So
I want to see Mateo go somewhere. I want to see Mateo work. Yeah,
Mateo is permanent.
He's got all the
Mateo's
charisma.
Permanent. Mateo is the big
got
mood.
all the charisma.
Big mood is permanent, definitely. So you keep seeing them coming over here.
That's awesome.
So, Troy, you wanted to say something?
Oh no, I was just agreeing with Bill.
Oh, okay. When you're designing a championship around a division, how does the creative process work?
It's mostly like crowd reaction, just not like it's like charisma and how they work in the ring. But it's also like it's a crowd reaction. You just have to pay attention how the crowd react to a specific individual. You don't have to give them a strap right away, because it's like some people just don't need it, but it's just part of the decision making when it comes to that, like who can bring more people in.
That's true. Okay. Yeah, okay, I feel that.
We don't like Roman Reigns 4-year reign, but you cannot lie that he put butts in seats.
Yeah, I was just saying that on the last one.
storyline, his storytelling from the time that he went out because he ended up with leukemia and coming back. That was a whole different Roman Reigns when he came back. Wreck everyone and leave.
360.
Yeah, full 360, and then the storyline just took off. And his storytelling capability now, it's pretty unmatched. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, it's like they say in wrestling. Any reaction is just a reaction. You just have to worry about when you don't get a reaction. But boos or angry people or cheering, it is a reaction, and that's what put butts in seats.
Well, I got a good one for you. So we've been talking about, tossing back and forth. Sometimes we like him, sometimes we hate him. What's your opinion on Dominic Mysterio?
He's a cool dude, though. I mean, I wish I can hear him talk, because every time he grabs the mic, they boo him out of the building. But I truly see him rising up like the next 5 years. Like he can, like, being in the Judgment Day is pretty good. I can see him branch out and be his own person, and he's just gonna be like top heel like the Miz. Like getting that heat regardless, like without opening your mouth. It's like you're already getting that heat.
So from what I'm understanding is, I think Danny and I are on the same page with this. I'm pretty sure in my last podcast, I definitely said Roman Reigns put butts in seats, and I definitely said that Dominic Mysterio is like the modern day Miz. The only person to ever do it better than him is the Miz. That's it. That's it.
It's a fact.
But at this point, the Miz is becoming irrelevant. It's all about Dirty Dom now, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Miz do some crazy stuff, because he did that invisible Cena kind of thing.
Yeah,
that was
did.
pretty cool.
I did like that.
He did pull it off. Not a lot of people will pull that off, and he pulled it off.
Only the Miz. Only the Miz.
Yeah.
Only the Miz.
So, Danny, I just got a quick question for you. What would you say is the hardest part about being an owner of a company, of a wrestling company?
Just the planning. Just the planning itself. I mean, like, you still have to, like every other company, you have to invest in yourself, but it's just, everything is planning, like putting the right person in the crowd, finding the right place, doing the right promotion. It's just basically, that's part of it. Like, it's all logistics kind of thing. And then once you start the show, it's like you just bite your fingernails. Hopefully everything goes all right. Because it sounds good in your head. It sounds good in your head, but until that day of the show, that's when you see if you made a mistake or not.
That's true. That is very true. It sounds good on paper, but you got to see it in real life.
Yeah, it's just good people, though. I mean, you cannot do this by yourself. You surround yourself with good people. I got good people around me where I throw ideas, and they're my filter, and they'll be like, "Don't do that."
Okay, got you.
And I was able to find people that live here for like years and decades, that they can tell me like what is the Quad City, like what they're looking for, and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of like take that consideration every time I do something. Plus, like when you grew up watching wrestling, I was more into like building my own wrestling show than being a wrestler. Because in my mind, I was like, man, I would have done this, or I would have done. I always did my own fantasy bookings.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So when it's time to do it now, it's just kind of like it became easy, but now we're dealing with real people, so that's the hard part right there.
Okay. So how many people are on your roster right now,
I'll say permanently probably like around 10.
Permanently, probably.
Yeah, permanently like Mateo, Big Mood, Conan, Maggie, Heather, all that kind of stuff, So, but then I'll bring more people in. I'll fly more people in every month. So you never know who's gonna show up.
Jeez.
So I figure with the fact that they're carrying the championship, they're probably pretty permanent. So
okay. So
and then we got Su Young coming in next year. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. Nice.
So Su Young is coming in February in Cedar Rapids.
Oh yeah.
Making that trip.
Major.
Major news.
I got it. Yeah, I definitely got to see that front row.
Wow.
So
I'm
just pay
saying if
attention
you've
to
never
that
been
one.
to a wrestling show, HAW is the show you need to go, and you
Yes.
definitely need to be in the front row to catch all the action. Make sure
Hell
you're there
yeah.
early and get in the front row to catch all that action. I'm telling you.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's it.
We need
Like,
more seats in the front row.
We're looking for a bigger venue right now for 2024, so we're working on it. We got some plans to do some outside shows too, so it's there. Can't say much, but it's there.
Hey,
Nice.
It's there.
You are missing out if you're not checking out HAW. So Danny, one of the surprise questions of the night is who do you think has the best promo cutting ability in the business?
Ah, wow.
Stumped him.
That's a hard one.
There's a lot of people, but I cannot get away from my favorite person in life is Shawn Michaels.
Oh,
The Heartbreak Kid.
kid.
You know, I got the Shawn Michaels belt. You know, I got old magazines with Shawn Michaels on the cover. You know, I got Diesel and Michaels action figures. I can't go away with Michaels, man, because what do you call it, like heel or face, he can do some promos.
Yes.
Oh
He
yeah.
can pull you in.
I don't know if you see it the other night when I was wearing that WWE title. It has Shawn Michaels side plates on. Yeah.
Yeah, I got the eagle with the
Nice.
Shawn Michaels.
Oh
strap.
wow.
Hey,
So maybe one day I'll bring it to the show. But I bought the one that it came with the eagle and it came with the old Shawn Michael pattern strap belt.
Real nice.
so when is your next show? Speaking of
October 28th.
Wicked.
October 28th. All right, everybody,
Yeah.
y'all heard that? October 28th. Better be there.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
And-
this is one hell of a show.
Just curious, is there a main event set in place yet for that show?
We're still working on it.
Oh,
still early
okay,
in the
okay.
Too
It's
early,
still early in the
We're
game.
still
Okay.
over a month away.
We in there just
Yeah.
trying to get these sneak peeks, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, can't help me for trying. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Can't
sorry.
blame
We're working on
All
it,
right.
but we got a few people flying in. That's what I can say.
Okay.
All right, okay.
People flying in. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, is there a certain time period that you take on like new talent, or you search for it whenever you need it, or like how does that work?
Well, we searched for it like really early. Like once I know the shows and stuff, and I know what I'm looking for, story wise and all that kind of stuff. Even not story wise, even if they just put a match like you saw Heather and Missa Kate, you know, that was just a match, but it was like they put it out there, 100%. You know,
Yes,
so
indeed.
but I'm always looking months and ahead, you know, especially like outside talent, because like if they come out of the state, usually they're already booked already. So I try to get them like really like a lot of like 3-4 months ahead. Like Fulton, I had him like 7 months ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. He's got a plan.
You
Okay.
know,
That's playing way ahead.
Sue Young is coming in February, and I got in
Young?
touch with her 2 months ago. So
Oh,
Nice.
so when it comes
Nice.
to names, it's like, yeah, you know, it's just months and advance.
Jesus.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
That's how that works.
Got any
Well,
more questions
you know,
for him?
if you're a free agent and you're looking to work for a good dude in a good wrestling company with a good vibe, you know, you might want to try out for HAW.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
So-
we welcome everybody. You know, we talked to Eric Rowan a couple weeks ago,
Nice.
so that's in the works. Red Beer.
Nice.
We're waiting for a few stuff out there, but there's people coming.
Yeah, you got some big moves coming. You got some big moves coming your way. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You about to be a
There's people coming out there.
Surprise question for you, Danny.
You know, like my main.
Who has the best finisher that you've ever seen in the business?
Shawn Michaels.
Pretend music.
Shawn Michaels. I mean, they ruined the super kit already, but hey, back then it was like it.
Yeah, he was it. Yep.
You know, like flying elbow, super kit.
Oh yeah.
Real nice.
Oh yeah, I like
And
I like the fact that he picked Shawn Michaels. I love it. I
Shawn
love
Michaels is everything.
You know, that was the
Everything.
first wrestler I ever actually fell in love with. Like, it was a Heartbreak Kid. Like, you
Yeah,
know.
I saw them and when they were the Rockers.
Oh,
And then once he turned into the Heartbreak Kid, that was it. I was following them a little bit, but once I saw WrestleMania 12, that's when I really, really like got in touch with him because I like him as a heel. When he was a heel, Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 11, WrestleMania 10, but after 12, that's when it catch my eye the most.
I respect that. I respect that. I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. I did not know you would be a Shawn Michaels fan. Like, I really did not expect you, Shawn Michaels.
It was me, Shawn Michaels, and my brother was like into Razor Ramon.
oh man, that must have been fun.
Yeah, that was it. Razor Edge and super kicks at home.
Matter of fact, after this podcast, I think me and Billy about to go out back and pull the mats out and do a little bit of training ourselves.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
So, Danny, do you ever get in the ring yourself?
Yeah, I used to be like a wrestler for like 5 years.
Oh, yeah? What company
Yeah.
did you work for?
I was trained in Korea for 3 years.
Oh,
And then I wrestled here in the Midwest, like for 2 years before I just got injured. So I just decided to go
Hang
to
it
the
up.
side. But I mean, this is one of the things that I was planning to do anyway in the future. So it just opens another door, basically.
so will there ever be a chance that we ever see the owner of HAW step into the ring?
Maybe just one time. I still
Oh
got
man, I'd
my.
love to see that.
I'm still got my Shawn Michael gear.
Oh,
Inspired,
see,
so.
That's awesome.
I would pay double the ticket price just to get in there to see that.
Facts.
Sure, you got
Yeah, but I'm not the owner that wants to be all center. So
I
I
understand.
just like to be in the
That
back.
is well respected.
I don't like it. It's like a thing over here in the Midwest or something. Like they just like to put front and center and all that kind of stuff. I'm not a person like that. I like to just keep in the background. I don't want people to recognize me, period. Because it's funny, like when people actually are like the first time in HAW looking for the owner, they'll pass me by, they'll check my hand and just keep walking. And they just don't realize that I'm the one that they've been talking for the past 4 or 5 months.
Yeah. Yep.
You know,
He does blend in with the crowd.
they go to Trey, the ring announcer, because
Okay.
he's the most charismatic one, and they think, like I said, like when it comes to companies and owners, they would like to put themselves out there, either wrestling or out there. So they think the ring announcer is the owner, but I'm actually in the background, like hearing this whole conversation. I was like, I think he just wants to talk to me.
I mean, you even got owners that try to put themselves center attention to make themselves champion. I mean, that's just no.
I don't, yeah, that's a thing out there, right?
Yep.
It's like you sell tickets, I guess. You own it, you sell it.
Yep.
But I'm not. It's not my goal really. Like I
Much
thought about
respect.
it. I thought about it to do a one thing. Eventually, it will happen, but it could be a run into the Royal Rumble and then get out in 5 seconds. But
That's worth it. It's worth it, brother. It's worth
but I'll
Yeah.
get out there eventually. Just do 1 or 2, and then that's it. Go back to my little corner.
Like, when I stood in that ring after the show, because I've been in rings, but I just felt the atmosphere since I was at the show. I stood in that ring, I was like, yeah, this is it. This is it. This is the it factor that I've always been missing. This is the last key component that like I needed.
Yeah.
That is where
we try to the way I build it, like I just don't want you to walk in, like it's an independent wrestling company, but it's like I don't want you to just walk in and just sit down. I just want you to walk in and the first thing you see is it's just an experience.
Yep.
Like the last show you run into Radar. He was walking around and then you had the tables in the back with the wrestlers already waiting, all that kind of stuff. So I don't want you to get bored for 30 minutes or 1 hour just sitting there. I just want you to like start walking around, check the merchandise, check the concession stand, you know, take pictures with Radar or whoever's next after that, you know. We sell toys, wrestling figures, and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a whole event from the moment that you walk in to the moment that you leave.
Oh, I
Not
noticed
just a wrestling.
his son was super ecstatic to get all the wrestlers to sign his belt. Like,
Yeah,
he
they
got
signed his
every-
WWE belt,
He
every
made
one of them.
sure that they signed it. He made sure. And he came back to me. He's like, Troy, look, they all signed. I'm like, oh man, that's dope.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had something to sign my autograph on, but not today, buddy. I'll be there at the next show. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring some.
So
Yeah.
we do have a little bit of news I would like to cover, not to interrupt this amazing conversation, but tonight will mark the final event that a McMahon runs in WWE. So we're at the end of an era with Endeavor taking over. Endeavor, my apologies, Endeavor. My apologies, Endeavor. I just caught myself. So how do you feel about that, Danny? Will it affect the creative with Triple H stepping down from the board of directors, or
I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping that he has more control now that Endeavor is on, and hopefully they just throw the trust in him running the company than it was under Vince. You know, because I know Triple H can run it. I mean, like if they would give him the company, he would run it so smooth. You know, because he has really trust in creative. He lets people do their own promos, like less scripted kind of thing. So I'm hoping, I'm not gonna say too much, but I'm like, I'll say hopefully Triple H get the hands on it. You know, hopefully Endeavor be like, hey, this is yours right now. We just make the big decisions, but I mean, this is your baby now.
Okay.
Max?
Yeah, I hope so.
Troy Black? How you feeling about this purchase?
I am feeling optimistic. We're seeing the end of an era that we've never seen before. This is the first time this has ever happened. And I'm optimistic. I feel like they're not going to splice two different sports together too much. I feel like it might even go back to the WWE that we all were raised, and we were all raised upon it. We all grew up watching. I feel like there might be a little bit more gore. They might slide off with a little bit more cursing. It might be a little bit more realistic. Look, we might even get people getting slammed through the Hell in a Cell again eventually. I am optimistic about it. I am. I truly am optimistic. I think it's gonna go from PG to PG-13. That's how I feel.
I mean, I feel that exactly what he was just saying. Like, he literally took the words out of my mouth. That they signing with a company that there is blood. I mean, you can't avoid blood when you're in a fighting MMA ring, octagon. You can't avoid that. And now that Endeavor is going to be the full-on running the whole show, I feel that we're going to start seeing some of that sift over to WWE. We're going to start seeing some blood again. We're going to see some hard-hitting matches, stuff through hell, being thrown through Hell in a Cell. It's a chance to kind of go back to the era a little bit that we all grew up loving, and it happened.
So we move into that part of the show where we all give an honorable mention to anybody you want in the wrestling world. It could be a superstar, it could be one of your workers, it could be anybody you want. Troy Black, you go first.
Oh geez, I was hoping I was gonna go last. It's hard to pick one wrestler, so I guess I'll just have to shout out to the whole HAW crew. All those wrestlers that were there, whether they competed or not, they showed up. Like, those guys are amazing. Not only in the ring, but outside the ring. I got a chance to sit down and talk with a few of them, like some Instagrams, exchange social medias. Like, I asked them a few personal questions on their goals and where they came from and where they plan to get and how do they get there. Like, these people are great. They're great. They're going to give you any type of advice that you ask for. They're very open. They're very friendly. They're very kind. Like, they're very well spoken. Like, these guys are the it factor. These guys are the it factor. If you want to have that family environment, HAW is where you find it. So my shout out is to HAW and Danny as well.
Well, you just stole it from me. My shout out tonight, my honorable mention goes out to you, Danny. We appreciate you joining us tonight, being able to take time out of your evening when you could have just been sitting and relaxing and just, coming on here and talking with us. So thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes, it was great. We would love to have you any other time, brother.
And what would be your honorable mention tonight?
Honorable mentions like you guys, man, helping
Thank
us
you.
setting
Oh
up the
wow,
ring.
thank you.
You know, we met in record time. Thank you
Yes.
for coming and helping us out and supporting us. You guys
We're
see
about.
something different in us in the QC, and without you guys, we can't move forward.
Exactly. And we're here to help you out, and we love your show. So
Don't you worry, we'll be there. We'll
that's
be
a
there for
huge
next
perk.
show.
Huge perk.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate the energy from your announcer that night, giving us a huge promo in front of all your fans. When I saw that, I wasn't able to make it to the last show, unfortunately. I was dealing with something medical wise. But I was watching it live because Billy was recording, and it was so the atmosphere that I could see from the live was just crazy, crazy insane. I will be at the next show, and I can't wait to be there. But we're running to the end of the episode. I'm Big Baby Ben.
This is Billy Kid Rogers,
Yeah, Troy Black, baby.
and this is Danny, the owner. This has been another amazing episode of Wrestling with the Bros. Thank you, everybody.